everyone, I'm Dead Knight, and this is In It to Win It. We are going through and looking at the new Hearthstone expansion, Fractured in Alterac Valley, looking at the best, worst, most interesting card for each class, and right now we are on Warrior. Don't forget to check out all the other videos for all the other classes and leave respectful comments on them, like them, subscribe to the channel, get the future updates, see the decks I'm hitting Legend with, get some guides. But anyway, let's get into Warrior. So Warrior is really frustrating a lot of people right now because Pirates are so good in Standard and Wild. So Pirate is clearly the dominant Warrior archetype. Some people are playing, some Control Warriors centered around, recruit mechanics and big Warrior, and but mostly Pirate. So I've loved Pirate in Standard and Wild. And so what kind of support are we getting for Pirate in Alterac Valley? Absolutely zero. Their Warrior seems to have a lot of cards that are focused around frost and freezing, giving armor and playing Control Warrior. But the support they're getting for those, it doesn't seem to be that great. So I think Warrior probably got the short end of the stick for this expansion. But what's good about Warrior? So one good card that I think is the best card for Warrior in this set is Snowed In. So this is a 3-mana spell that destroys a damaged minion and freezes all other minions. Yes, all minions, that includes your own. So that kind of sucks. But you look at Execute, which is for 2 mana, destroy a damaged minion. And in this case, not only are you for 1 extra mana destroying the minion, but you also freeze everything. So for Control Warrior, this is an excellent tool. Warrior has a lot of ways that can easily deal damage and get damaged minions around. So, there's almost always going to be a damage target for you to use this on. And then you get to freeze the board. So it's a really easy way to control the board, buy you time to draw Rancor the next turn, to draw Brawl or some other board control card to wipe the board. So really good early game board control to help Control Warrior set up. So that's great. And you could use this in a Pirate Warrior style deck as a tempo play by destroying a minion and freezing all minions. So obviously if your opponent has a taunt minion, that's not a great target for this, but you can use your minions in attack and then play this guy so the freeze doesn't affect them until next turn, which they might die anyway, or you can freeze and then play minions. So there are a couple different ways you can try to use this card. Obviously, freezing your own minions sucks, but in a control deck, this is great. It could be used in other types of decks, but overall, if this is the best card for Warrior, it really says something about the quality of the pool here. But I think this is going to see a lot of play. It's really versatile. You'll see it in Odd Warrior and Wild if that deck can ever get a footing in the meta. But having a way to freeze the whole board for 3 mana. It's good. That card got Hall of Famed for Mage, so let's see how it does for Warrior. As far as worst card for Warrior, for me, that is Scrapsmith. So this is a 2/4 taunt for 3 mana. It battle cries to add 2 more 2/4 taunts for 3 mana. So why is this card not good for me? So the idea behind this card is that you have a cheap taunt minion that generates more cheap taunt minions back to your hand, and there's a bunch of Warrior cards that buff taunt minions in your hand. So you're like, okay, well, I can play it. I don't have to keep these minions in my hand. I can actually play cards early game and not sacrifice my buffing. But in reality, I don't think it's going to work that way. Firstly, 2/4 for 3 taunt minions are not the minions you want to be targeting for buffs. So when you have a card like Bulk Up that's going to copy a taunt minion in your hand, if you copy this and not a good taunt minion, or one of the tokens and not a good taunt minion, that kind of sucks. 2/4 taunts don't do much for you. There's been a bunch of different cards that have been 2/4 taunts, and they usually don't even trade. They usually just get 1 for 0'd and just die without removing other cards. So 2/4 taunts kind of suck. So a whole bunch of 2/4 taunts sucks just as much, in my opinion. I don't think that this is going to be the thing that brings, hand buff taunt Warrior to the front line. I think this is actually a setback for them. So I don't know where you'd want to put this card. I guess it's good in Arena, but even then, not really so much. As far as the most interesting card for me, that is going to be Iceblood Garrison. So this is a 2-mana spell, deals 1 damage to all minions at the end of your turn, and it lasts 3 turns. So again, we've talked about some of these in other videos, the Garrison cards that do things for multiple turns. This for Warrior is awesome for in a lot of different ways. So against aggro decks, they are going to have to play around the fact that for 3 turns they're going to be taking their minions are going to be taking 1 damage, and you don't have to do anything else to get that damage. So they play a minion on their turn, and then on your turn that minion's going to take a damage. So that's a really excellent control Warrior board control. Also, because Warrior has so many damage synergies for itself, like Frothing Berserker and other cards that activate when you have damaged minions, you have the ability to plan for your minions to be damaged. The fact that it does that at end of turn is not so great for this, because your opponent's going to get a chance to respond and deal damage to that minion before you can really take effect for it. But I think the most important thing is how easily it slows down your opponent, because they know that their minions are going to take damage the turn that they come in. So something like Guardian Og Merchant loses a ton of its value because it dies, and then the minion loses Divine Shield by the time its next turn rolls around. Peasant just doesn't do anything. There's a bunch of Adorable Infestation, just doesn't do anything. Wolpertinger just doesn't do anything. So this is going to buy you 2 to 3 turns of setup time, which is huge for Control Warrior in the early game. You think of a card like Minefield, which for 2 mana is going to deal 5 damage to spread across the board. That card by itself was able to buy Warrior enough time to get going, and this is, I would say, better than Minefield for delaying your opponent. So really cool card. I really like these spread things out over a couple turns to give you time to set things up. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. What do you think of Warrior's card pool? 0 pirates in this set, so I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about that. Leave some respectful comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy Hanukkah, happy set release, and tune in next time.